Good morning, everyone. We are here, week 11, Wednesday, December 2nd. Good to see that you're able to join this morning. Still a bit low in numbers, so we're going to take a minute or two to get started. Hopefully everyone's had a good day so far. It's still early, at least where I am. If you're out of the country, you might be at the end of your day. I'm not sure, but here in Barrie, it's 8:32, and lots of snow. How's everyone enjoying all the snow? Definitely hit us hard over the last 24 or so hours, but nice and sunny this morning, which is great. And we are getting close to the end of our content, but we still have a lot to go. I know we have this week and next week for instruction, and then our final week, which I've mentioned before, will be our final test, which is a 10% test. And hold on, I am recording. Yeah, okay. And so today we are going to do a few things. We have 2 chapters to look at today. We are looking at coordination scheduling, which is chapter 13. And a few people waiting. And I have posted that on Blackboard. And chapter, what's the other one? 14 for maintenance. We have those 2 chapters we're going to look at today. We're still going to end by 10:45 at the latest. We have 2 chapters. I'm not sure. I don't think we're going to do a breakout room today, but we are going to do an interactive session where I have put in the in-class assignment number 9, and I'm going to try to use it here. And I'll share my screen and we'll work on it together. The person to let in. Work on it together. I think at the end of chapter 13. What's going on right now? Well, there's a few things I want to ask. We're up to about 16 people now, so we're getting there. We have, where are we looking? Okay, so look at this. I'm just going to bring up the syllabus again for a moment. I have it already open somewhere. Oh, that's not it. Good. Oh, someone else in the waiting room. Tell you, starting up teaching and today and watching the waiting room, it's just a little bit of a challenge transferring back and forth, but I'm handling it okay. December 2nd. And so we are, I know these different weeks have got mixed up a little bit as far as the content being delivered. And so we're doing the coordination scheduling, and then we're going to be doing maintenance. So we're jumping ahead to next week. Next week, we'll do emergency and emergency response. Plus, we're going to go back to aquatics. I don't think we did aquatics yet, so we're going to hit aquatics. So we'll do those 2 chapters next week. Also give out the, there'll be a review. So the test will be very similar to the way we had our last test. So I'll give out, I do the 50 multiple choice or true and false. I'll give you a whole bunch of questions to work from. And then there'll be some definitions. Probably give you a list of those, and there'll be 10 of them on the test. And then there'll be short answers, which will give you I don't know how many, I think it's 3 or 4, and you can pick 2 to do on the test. So pretty straightforward, nothing to be surprised about. If you follow that information I give you, you have no problem doing well on the test. Okay, as far as marks, I do want to just say I'll have all the marks posted that you've submitted by either tomorrow night or Friday night. So I'd say Friday at the latest, but I'm trying to get them all marked by tomorrow. So any marks that are outstanding that you've handed in for assignment 3 and 4, the marks will be up open by tomorrow night at the latest, or sorry, Friday night but latest, but I'm hoping for Thursday night. Okay, so I know those are, you're probably anticipating, getting anxious that you haven't seen them. I will have those done by Friday at the latest. All right. And what are we at here? We have a chat here as well. Better open that. We've done in-class assignment 8. Yeah, I think we've done in-class assignment 8. I think I posted in-class assignment 9. Sometimes I hopefully haven't mixed up the numbers. There's a new one posted today. Okay, so let me just jump back to the PowerPoint. All right, I'm going to share this I'm going to want to find out how everyone's doing today. I know we used a Mentimeter last week, and you guys go to menti.com and put in this code. Okay, so there's a code there. I'll put it in the chat as well. I think I can put it in the chat. Where's the chat? All right, we'll go there. Here. So today, I'm asking how you're doing, and it's if you've ever been skiing before, we are ranking ourselves today based on how ski hills are ranked. Since we got all the snow, you know, a green circle is an easy hill. So it would be, oh, today's going to be an easy day. Or blue square is average difficulty, but sort of okay, should be able to do that. Black diamond is a difficult hill. Then we have a double black diamond, which is very difficult. And we have this other symbol I wasn't even aware of, but it's sort of freestyle, maybe backcountry skiing and sort of freestyle. And so whatever happens, happens. So why don't you just rank yourself in there and tell me how you're feeling today? I know we're in week 11, so we're kind of, I still kind of thought we're in a bit of a lull for assignments, but I don't know that for sure with all your other classes. I'm going to say, I'm going to put myself as a, I had to rate myself today. I'm going to say it's either a difficult or very difficult day. For me, work's been piling up, but for the rest of you, it looks like whatever happens, happens, or it's average difficulty so far. So no one's saying it's an easy day. That's what we've seen so far, that no one is saying it's an easy day. But, you know, skiing, boarding, don't know if any of you are into those outdoor sports. It's one way to sort of judge how today's going. I always stay away from those black diamonds for sure. Oh, okay, looks like we'll keep that open, but we'll go back to the PowerPoint right now. And also like to ask, I was going to ask last week and I forgot, but at this point in facility operations, because I know we're talking, you know, that's the name of the course, but has there been anything that you're just dying, or that you wish was in the course that you haven't seen yet, or any information that hasn't been talked about? We've talked about equipment a bit, employees, facility design. We are getting into maintenance today, the scheduling today. Next week will be emergency responses and aquatics. But if there's anything that's on the top of your mind that you've thought about, or managerial project, how facilities function day to day, okay. All right. Content on outdoor centers, okay. I will make notes. I'll see if any of the comments that come up, I have information on that I could maybe go into today, or if I can go freestyle today and hit on that, or include it for next week. I will work on that. But thanks for the comments, Brittany. Let's see, how's our? Okay, everyone's a little quiet this morning. We have one person in the waiting room. Okay. Good. All right, our numbers are a bit lower today, but that's okay. Everyone can have the opportunity to. Don't worry, Britt, you're not adding more to my plate. That's okay. If I have it, sometimes I have to sift through because we are 1 week shorter. So there is some information that I maybe didn't include or haven't included. So I can definitely adjust a little bit if the information's there. Yeah, I won't be developing any new content, but if I have it, I will definitely share it. I can post it as well on Blackboard. So thanks for any comments. So if there's anyone else out there that's listening that has any comments about course information that you wish was included that hasn't been, please drop a comment into the chat. Right? Good stuff. Okay, so let's move over to the content for chapter 13. Let's see if I can get this to work. Okay, so coordination and scheduling. Actually, I'm going to just do, sorry. All right, just going to open that up a bit bigger, make this smaller. Okay. That, okay. So coordinating and scheduling. So basically coordination in a facility is what you're trying to coordinate the activities or events or the users that are, anyone that's, things that are taking place, things that, we don't have double bookings in the facility, they're not over capacity, areas are being used that are available. We will be talking about that, the more our facilities are multifunctional facilities, then the coordination becomes even more difficult. If it's just I'm just going to use an example of an ice arena, and you schedule hockey, 24/7. That's maybe a bit easier because you just have the one surface. But if you have learn to skate programs and you have an ice surface and the kids are small, you could have 3 or 4 different classes running on the ice. You could be playing, other times you could have broom ball. You could be playing ringette. So the equipment changes slightly. Same with for ringette, the lines are different on the surface. You have to put there's a different offside line that the line you have to pass over. They can't carry the ring over it. So things like that. So the goal of coordinated rec facility is to create a system that provides for efficient use of all areas, personnel, and equipment in a harmonious and timely fashion. So, some of the things that are really difficult, which we'll touch on, is like the pro sports arenas when you're switching from basketball to hockey, and it's a 24-hour turnaround, or it's as we'll see, basketball to baseball. I have one example on that. What we'll touch on. So managing individual group use of facility takes time and effort. Definitely, inefficient coordination can reflect poorly on management and productivity. That's obviously a big could be a big issue that comes up. So it's kind of like when you coordinate your daily schedule. Okay, we know that. Okay, Mike's class is from 8:30 till 10:45. I have a doctor's appointment at 11. I have another class at noon. I have to meet my my mom for dinner or whatever. I have to have dinner ready at 5 for my kids. All that sort of stuff is that coordination. So it's that sort of thing, but you're doing it in a facility. So typical coordination arrangements, so things you need to consider when you are coordinating facilities. So dates and time. So when a person comes in to book a facility, or if it's a program that's running, you need to know that, it's a 10-week program for ballet, and it's in the gym, and it's little kids. So, it's every Monday at 5 o'clock, and it's for an hour, and you need this sort of equipment. You can't have any tables and chairs. So set up and takedown is important to know. You need time for that. When we go through our in-class assignment 9, we will be talking about setup and takedown. Some events, in the gym, if it's a varsity game that's setting up and it's volleyball, may need an hour to set up, or 2 hours to set up and an hour to take down. Equipment needs, so you need posts and nets and balls, you need bleachers, you need lines drawn on the field, you need whatever, if it's rugby or that sort of thing. Electrical needs, do you have score tables? Do you need, is it a trade show that's been brought into your ice arena, and you have a in Barrie, they have I think it's called the Sadlin Center now, but the Barrie Molson Center is the, do you need electrical needs for, do your booths on the floor of the ice arena, do they need power to run laptops or lights or that sort of thing? Area to load and layout. So we know at the Georgian facility on campus, we put a large roll-up door on the one corner of the gym. So that is the main area to load in and out, and the layout of the facility. And so, you have a map, you have a map that's to scale. So we all know in assignment 2, you all drew your facilities and a blueprint. So that would be sort of one of the set. You could use that for doing a layout. You could know that this is the size of a table or a 10 by 10 booth, that we could fit it on your facility. You could do, say, in your gymnasium, and it's 20,000 square feet, how many 10 by 10 booths can you fit in there? You could figure that out. Supervision, if you are doing larger facilities with spectators, you need more staff, supervisors to help with concessions, with maintenance, and so on. Security requirements. We have how many security people, access control, is it changing? You need tickets. Charges, are there charges to get in? Food services, are they needed? Are you hosting a wedding in a banquet facility, or are you running a golf course with a concession? And then if it's a rental, if it's a written agreement, definitely important to have a written agreement with all the details on it. You just don't want to keep little notes and without anything signed. So you're going to be putting together all these details in a contract for a person that's using the facility, renting the facility from you. Even if it's the city of Barrie is setting up, I would say, their own programs in their own facilities, they would still do a contract. They may not have to sign it like everyone else, but they would still do the same sort of contract system, and it would have all the details in it that they would need to know for the facility staff. So someone working in the facility, they don't really care if it's a City of Barrie event or if it's a private rental, as far as the setup and all the other issues in the arrangement. So they would need the details, and for more of the financial part, that would be where maybe this facility, the city of Barrie or whoever owns the facilities isn't paying for that rental portion. But coordination challenges. So over time, production areas can become crowded. Although this problem can be a result of demand for a product, it makes coordination challenging. Obstacles arise in meeting users' needs when there are too many users or employees for the space available. Recreation facility managers should be alert to space limitations, anticipate solutions, and have appropriate response that will help in effort to coordinate facilities. Now, even now, we know that, I've started playing hockey about 6 weeks ago for our weekly Monday night group. So we know that, coordination of challenges. So I'm a rental group going into a arena. Some of the capacity, so a change room can now only have 10 people in it. They can't put more than that in it. The amount of people on the ice can only be 25. So we know that these are other, coordination challenges. This is things that you need to take into consideration right now. If maybe before that you could jam in as many people as you could into a change room. We could have 15 people in one room. On the ice, we may have a few extra people. We might have 27 or maybe we're up to even 13, 26, 27, maybe 28, even 28 people on the ice. So just things like that where the coordination challenges are even more difficult now. Also, going in the arena, our ice time starts at 8 o'clock. We're only allowed in the arena at 7:45. So it's another challenge. We have to wait outside before we can get in the facility. And when our ice time ends, you have till quarter after the hour to get out of the facility. So that the staff need more time to clean. So this is important information you need to know. And all facilities are running this way where there's different restrictions and coordination challenges for the operators. So maximizing facility use. There are 5 approaches to doing this. So leadership, stakeholders, seasonality, time, and place. And I'll just touch briefly on each of those. So leadership refers to how the recreation agency leaders, so yourselves, influence facility usage so that it fulfills the mission of the agency. Administrators have a philosophy about their product and how it should be produced and delivered. Employees should be familiar with this philosophy and should influence decisions regarding facility usage. So what is the philosophy of your facility and about your product and how it should be produced and delivered? And if you're looking at private health clubs, that's a good example of the different philosophies when you go to Good Life compared to LA Fitness, or if you go to Fit for Life or whatever, you have different philosophies at each one of those. And stakeholders, users and employees or stakeholders are people who use the recreation facility. So anyone that has, so I'm a stakeholder, you're a stakeholder, we're all stakeholders. And an appreciation for personalities, gender, race, social status, attitudes, and motivation is an important factor in facility coordination. So we know that a recent change in facilities is that the change rooms have gone, we have the male, female, but you also have family change rooms as well that are private or can be used by individuals for that purpose. So they're small. If you've been into them for, I used to take my kids to the pool and you would go into the family change room. You have, it didn't matter if you're male, female, or other, and you could use that change room. You could have your own private small change room area, and then you come out to the common area to enter the pool. So things like that need to be taken into consideration. And understanding the different people who may use a recreation facility, enhancing their usage can lead to a harmonious use of a facility and can help participate and avoid coordination problems. So again, you need to understand who your users are. Do you have lots of seniors in your facility? Do you have lots of children in your facility? So you need to know those sort of different factors to make sure that you're providing a good quality product. So seasonality is being aware of the changes in recreation facility as it relates to certain times of the year. So this is I guess a big area when you're looking at outdoor facilities. We know that sports fields have a certain time that they can be used in this part of the world. In Ontario, we know that our sports facilities, kind of around May 1st, you kind of look at getting on the fields. So some of the delays that happen with sports fields is that you see the weather. So even though all the snow could be gone, the ground could still be quite wet and it hasn't sort of dried up from that winter thaw. They're not going to, organizations are not going to let you on the fields at this point because you could damage the field. So when it is very wet and your field could be damaged, that's one thing in the spring, or if it's a time of year when it's been raining too much and the field's in bad condition because of the way it doesn't have good drainage, that could be a thing. Or once the ground, once it's frozen and they've done their winter maintenance where they've maybe aerated and seeded, or they've fertilized, maybe it could be a time when you can't use it any longer. Same with golf courses. You know that, if there's frost on the greens, you can't use the grass, or you can't use the facility at that point. You have to wait for the frost to clear because you could damage the grass on the greens. But the same goes for indoor facilities. You know that for seasonality, you have to be conscious of putting salt on your pathways for safety. You have to clear your parking lots of snow. You have to shovel the pathways, keep the doors clear, and that sort of thing. Okay. So busy times are peak seasons. The peak seasons, and slow times are the off seasons. So those are some terms that you may want maybe in the definition. So peak season and off season. Coordination or facility coordination efforts can change dramatically as seasons dictate product interest and support. Well, time of day, facility use varies based on certain times of the day. Customer demand for a particular time drives coordination decisions. Those often referred to as prime time and opposite of non-prime time, or sometimes it's called peak time. When you use ice arenas, it's an example, or a gymnasium. So most people, typically you work from 8 to 4, 9 to 5, 10 to 6, and then your evening hours are typically times when you're not working, but that's not always the case. So your facilities may be busier from, let's say, from 4 until 11 p.m. So this could be your peak time, your prime time, and they may charge more, or there could be a different charge to use your facilities during this peak time or prime time. So possibly during the 8 in the morning until 6 or till 4, is possible that your facility you're charging less to the user. So it could be a 25% lower cost for using it at that time, or it could be a 25% increased cost for the prime time. All right, so that's important to know. Same with weekends. That your weekends are also a time that facilities are in big demand. You have tournaments that come in. And so on. So the place, recreation facility managers must be mindful of the type of facility and how it dictates certain use and coordination limitations. Depending on the facility, policies, procedures, rules, and regulations influence coordination. Lots of things to take into consideration running your facility. Do you have certain policies and procedures, rules, and regulations that are it could be some of the rules now or new procedures is that you have to clean your facility every hour. So maybe you need more time now to clean an indoor facility. That could be something that you need to take into consideration. So scheduling. We're going to get more into scheduling in a few minutes. Scheduling is the act of assigning a time, place, and date based on a request for a particular use. So in many facilities, the agency schedules its own activities related to delivering the core product. So your core product is, if we've talked about that, if it's the ice arena, or if it's a gymnasium, or if it's the pool, if it's the swimming, if it's golf, whatever that might be. In other instances, facilities may be reserved by users. The recreation facility managers are responsible for facility scheduling, which can be tedious and a difficult responsibility. Now, it also might be similar to staff scheduling. If you've done any staff scheduling, then you could run into problems where you need to have 3 staff on at all times, and someone's called in sick, and you need to find a replacement, or they need to find a replacement, but or maybe you're on the floor instead of the staff. So product influence, each facility has scheduling needs based on the core product. Scheduling practices for products are based on one or a combination of the following: the users, the staff, the space, and events. We're going to get into an example of scheduling the Georgian College Gymnasium in a moment. So just hold on to that thought. And scheduling process. Scheduling is challenging, so applying a system of sound procedures can be invaluable. So I want to ask you here, and you can put this in the chat, is what do you think, if you look at the Georgian College Gym, if you're prioritizing the users, and your users in your gym are you have varsity sports, you have campus rec, you have rentals from the community, you have academics. What do you think should be the top priority in the Georgian College Gymnasium? So if the gym, or it also could be just drop in. So what would be, if you're this person scheduling the facility at Georgian College, the gymnasium, and you're doing a weekly schedule, what has the top priority? We have one comment here, the varsity sports. It's quite varsity. We have another comment from varsity. That's good. Anyone else have any idea what you would prioritize as being? What if you're not a varsity athlete, though? You're just a regular person that just plays sports, don't play any varsity teams. Do you have any comment about that? Or do you open gym might be one way to look? Might be one of the things that could be the top priorities is open gym, class labs, campus rec. Okay, so we're getting a variety of comments. So if you're looking at the facility, this is one of the things you're going to have to figure out if you're running a facility, because you're going to get different requests. So you do have to know what your priorities are. So when we talk about varsity sports in the gym, you're sort of restricted on the times of when the games can play, right? So if you're bringing in Seneca for men's and women's basketball doubleheader, it's a good chance that it's not going to be run midday during the week. It's going to be probably on the evening or a weekend. Good. So you're probably going to have to, varsity sports might be a little restrictive that way because of the scheduling process. So would you run your campus rec every night, from 5 to 10, or would you, be putting your varsity sports in there? You have to think about what happens in there. So I'm going to probably think that varsity sports may have a little bit of a not an advantage, but that's where they're going to have to be put just because of the restrictions. So they might be the top priority for putting it in the evenings. So we know that the Georgian gym, we are able to divide it into quarters. So you kind of have 4 different surfaces, although having a varsity practice for basketball in one of those quarters is pretty difficult because it's not a full-size basketball court. It is full-size volleyball, but still, I guess that is an option to have a smaller playing surface. Open gym could be probably, I feel that, that's one of the things that need to be put on a top or a higher priority. But sometimes open gym kind of gets scheduled in sort of wherever you have openings left. And it's like, well, me and my buddies just want to come in and shoot some hoops or something like that. So, you have to kind of pick, you kind of get the last things that are available, last times that are available. Then there's academics. So there are academics that run in the gym as well. And they might be a little bit, oh, excuse me. They might also be kind of restricted by a bit of time. So you're not going to have, your academics on weekends, probably not too far into the evenings, but some, you guys probably do have classes or have had classes up until 9 o'clock at night. But I think in the operating agreement with the college, because it is a student's owned facility, that the academics have been scheduled into the facility on most weekdays or certain days before noon. They're trying to get most of the academics in the morning, but you may have had classes in there midday. I'm not sure. You guys might be able to tell me more about that. In campus rec, I think there's times that maybe campus rec should be having a higher priority. If you look at, say, if you're looking at varsity sports, and with all the varsity sports, you have, let's just round it off, about 200 athletes that play all the varsity sports. So philosophically, can you give your prime time to 200 students where your campus rec may have many more, or your drop-in open gym time might have, it is really the whole campus population that could use that. So you have to have your priorities set out and what users and what groups are able to use the facility at certain times. So that is important to do that. So in most cases where effective and efficient management scheduling is observed, the following schedule process are applied. So request, log, review, response. So you get lots of requests that come in. You have to figure out where they're going to go, where they're going to fit. So rental groups as well. So when do rental groups, do they have any priority? So they're outside users, they're not students. They are from the community. It could be Barrie Soccer Club, it could be a lacrosse club. And when do maybe they don't have any priority during the week, but on weekends, because you have a certain budget to make, you are renting on the weekends. So that's very possible that they have a higher priority on weekends, but low priority during the week. Okay. So scheduling responsibilities need to be understood. These responsibilities will vary depending on the facility and how it's used. Arrangements are often communicated in writing for both parties to recognize the responsibilities. Users may need equipment, lighting, security, or other services provided by the agency or organization. These needs may be the responsibility of the users. It may include setup, takedown, security, supervision, equipment, and safety. And scheduling policies. Facility scheduling practices require establishment of policy, which we're talking about, and the priorities are put into place. So prioritization, cancellation. What happens if a group cancels the day of? Are you still charging them for the facility? Is it, do you have for hotel rooms, I think it's 24 hours, or sometimes it's even the same day you can cancel. For rec facilities, it might be a week. It might be, might be 3 weeks out, and once you sign the contract, you're required. There will be a cancellation policy in there. Excuse me. Damage as well. Are you responsible for any damage? Let's say a volleyball breaks a window, or a puck breaks a piece of glass around the arena. Are you responsible for that? In food service, can you bring your own food service into the facility, or do you have to use theirs? We have our slow pitch or 3-pitch tournament in Aurelia each fall. We usually have. We didn't this year. Food service, even though it's the outdoor facility, it's at Kitchener Park in Aurelia. We used to bring our own food in there, and then we found out, well, the city of Aurelia doesn't allow that. So they have a concession stand there that they open for us. I work out an arrangement ahead of time where I say, okay, every person that's going to attend is going to get a ticket for a slice of pizza and a beverage. So that food service can be worked out ahead of time, and then they make the profit on that. And then there's insurance as well. When we rent our facility at Georgian, each rental group needs to have insurance to cover their use. So this is something that's become more. It's been going on at Georgian for probably over 20 years, where groups have to have insurance. So either they have their own third-party insurance. So let's say it's the OBA, Ontario Basketball Association, provides them with insurance, or it's if it's we used to get a lot of birthday parties that come in, so one-offs where they just say, oh, I want 2 hours in the gym. My kids want to play floor hockey. Well, what we do is we have an insurance company that they can contact, or actually, sorry, we contact them. So we take the details, we can get a quote for them, but they either need to do pay for that insurance that from the quote that I would get for the facility, or they can arrange their own. So if they do arrange their own, they have to provide us with a liability certificate that shows that we have, or they have insurance to use using the facility during that time. And then they also have to have Georgian College named on that liability certificate. And more recently, I would give the example of me using the City of Barrie facilities for pickup ice hockey that I rent once a week or twice a week. So City of Barrie, starting last year, has put in a charge for liability insurance on all our users. So they'll ask, they'll say, okay, it's going to cost you, it's actually not very much. It might be $100 or so for the whole season of about 23 or 24 uses. So it only works out to maybe I think it was about $5 or $6 an athlete, or I shouldn't call everyone that I play with athletes, maybe a participant, I'll call them participants. So 6 times 20, or maybe it's about $150 or $200. That's all the insurance cost for the whole season. So it wasn't too bad. We knew it was coming because they used to put it in their rental agreement that the city may ask to see a copy of my insurance. So when they put the word may in, it sort of leaves it open because it doesn't say will ask, it says may ask. And it was legal wording, but because they said may ask, I never picked up liability insurance. I looked into it and it was never affordable, because if I went to my insurance company and said, oh, I need to get liability insurance for 25 guys that play hockey once a week for an hour for 25 weeks. They're going like, oh, geez, like you have to get a company that specializes in sport insurance to give you a proper quote. Okay, so you can't go to like your car insurance company and get it. You do have to get a specific type of company that does sport insurance. All right, where are we getting to here? So who's responsible for event takedown? All right, so we're going to go, I'm just going to show you these. I have a few cool videos here. So I'm going to stop sharing this, and I want to share these with you in a moment. Where's my button I'm looking for? That one. And back to sharing. I'm going to share my screen again. Hold on a second. One moment. Okay, so I'm going to show you. This is the ACC, or now it's called Rogers Center, I think. This is the NHL to NBA. So I know we were talking about that earlier. Right now it's the end of a hockey game, and I will start it up. I can find my play button here. There we go. So one thing to watch during this is watch the boards, because you always wonder, where do the boards go in NBA games, right? Also, these end seating, the end seating in the arena behind the nets, kind of keep your eye on the seating there as well, because you're going to see that they don't use the same seats. So I'm going to. You can see that they're putting this covering onto the ice surface, and they have to have special pieces, so not every piece is going to fit around these boards, right? You're going to have to probably have them numbered or that sort of thing. Once you get into the middle, you're going to be looking at, you can just put down your 4x8s, but all the others are going to have specific curves that are going to have to fit in. So that's why they've done the end. You also notice that the Zamboni or ice machine, the Olympia, probably did about 3 or 4 or 5 different floods just to get the ice surface to a good ice surface or a good condition. Also notice, while these guys are doing the floor, you can see people in the audience, or not the audience, in the seating, that they're doing lots of cleaning and just preparing the, almost looking at every seat to make sure they're in good condition, and that they're, I don't know if they're wiping them down or what they're doing, but you can see people. So imagine, as I mentioned, the end seats, you can see that they took this closest one to us, they've folded them in already. So if you missed that, you'll watch the other end. You can see the boards. We've been working on the boards there. So you can see the difference in the size of courts. That basketball is 50 by 94, where the ice rink is typically about 100 wide, about 185 long. So you can see the difference in size. So that's why in the ends, you're seeing that the bleachers or the seating comes out a lot further than in an ice arena. You can see that these go a lot further than the end boards here for basketball. All right, so that was a good example of a facility changing from hockey to basketball, and the same, opposite process would work for moving from basketball to hockey. But that's over 20, I think it's a 24-hour. Wasn't for sure. I didn't read the notes on that one, but I think it was. In the notes, it says Air Canada centers a home. Okay, in as little as 8 hours, crew of 18 to 25 workers can transform NHL ice to NBA hardwood. It's over. The recording was over 16 hours, which is so. These guys are so when you go to a game, if you've ever been to a game, then the next day's basketball. These guys are or these people are working overnight to get this set up for the athletes for the next day. And what we're going to do now, it's almost been an hour. I'm going to do is 1 second here. Okay. There's one more. It's been an hour. I'm gonna give you guys a break right now, but during the break, I am going to play one more video. It's changing. It's down in Texas. They have what they call the Alamo Dome. The Alamo is in San Antonio, so they've changed the facility. It goes from basketball, I believe, to baseball. So they put basketball in this large dome, but they switch it over to baseball. So the video is about 5 minutes or so. So I'm going to just give you guys a break, but you can watch this during the break. And when we come back, we'll get into that interactive assignment that we're going to work on. So here we go. All right, so I will play this. I don't think there's any sound for this one, so we'll just let her play. Okay, I am back. Sorry, I forgot to give a time that we'd be coming back, but it's 9:30. So I thought the Christian, thumbs up, thank you. I guess we're all good. So that was interesting with the Alamo Dome. I didn't watch all of it because I had to step away for a minute. But the crazy thing that I noticed in there is that they had to put dirt on the concrete, put grass for the infield for the baseball diamond. So just imagine switching over a facility from basketball to baseball and then happen to go back to basketball or whatever the other sport is. So obviously the main floor was concrete. They could see the trucks out there, but putting the dirt around and dirt to put grass on for that infield, natural infield, the grass infield. So that's a whole other level than switching. I guess, we look at switching, ice to hard court or hockey to basketball, but, basketball to baseball, if they want, that's how high they value the natural grass, real grass on their playing surface, at least for the infield. So kind of interesting that happened, or that happens. It could be daily, weekly, we don't know down there. So didn't have any other stats on that one. So I'm going to go back and just share my slides because we're getting close to the end of the slides for this chapter. And scheduling techniques. So we only have this slide, one more slide, and we'll do use the file that I posted on Blackboard. Okay. So scheduling can be accomplished through the use of various concepts and practices. Computers play a significant role in the facility scheduling process. So most facilities now do use a software to schedule their facility. Certain techniques can be applied to manage facility requests, which can involve diverse interests and large number of requests. Excuse me. Ultimately, whatever system is in place should be tied into a facility master schedule. And that's important. A master schedule is appropriate when there is many requests for facility, and it records all uses by date, time, space, and user contact information. Master schedules should be maintained and available for reference by facility personnel at any one time. Software can be used for this task. Now, the one thing with scheduling is that it has to have different securities or permissions set up. So, usually there's one person that can make changes, or maybe two or three, but usually it's just one person that is allowed to amend or put in rental contracts, and there's other people that can view it. So it's like the permissions when you get a document and it's locked. And if the facility's locked, or the software is locked just to read it, and there's only that one person that can make changes. Imagine if everyone can go in and make changes, it would be a mess. So you just have to appoint or have one person to look after the actual inputting of information. Lots of people can put in requests and view it, but one person to run the main schedule. Okay. So this is the end of this chapter. But what I want to do now is pull up there in Blackboard. I posted up. I will take you to it. Where are we? There it is. So in Blackboard, you'll see here in class assignment number 9, scheduling, is chapter 13, scheduling. So if you could all open up this document. Sorry, this was from last night, so I have to reload my Blackboard. That's all right, it'll take a second. And I'm going to open up that document soon. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, so I'm hoping maybe you guys can show me a thumbs up reaction. You know where the reactions are. Bottom right. Christian, thank you. You're always on top of that. Let me know that you, it looks like a few of you have opened it. Taylor, Brad, Thomas, Judah, Emma. Okay, so we're getting like maybe half of the people online have opened up the, and I'm going to share this, the file from Blackboard. Okay, where is it? There it is. Share it. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to sort of follow along with me. So this is a Excel spreadsheet, I think it is. Yep. And this is things to keep. What we're going to do is we're going to assume that we are the manager or the person that's responsible for scheduling for the Georgian College Gymnasium. Okay. We have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, a full week. Our week starts on Monday, then we have our 2 weekend days. And it starts at midnight, 12 a.m. And it has every hour of the day here. It goes down to back to 12 a.m. the same, or 11:59 p.m. Okay, so we have different 24-hour different slots. And so what we're going to do is, yeah, we could do a gym, but we're going to, or a gym, or you could do a pool, sports field, multi-purpose room. You can use this for scheduling any type of facility. And what you want to do is, a week at a glance is pretty, I find the most useful type of scheduling format to look at, to view. You can do, lots of different schedules. You can switch over to daily. So maybe you want to put a daily report, or maybe it's just a work week, a Monday to Friday schedule that you're looking at, your view, or maybe it's a month schedule. Some people go to a month. So you usually have the daily, work week, full week, and then a month. After that, it's just like if you go to annual or something like that, it's a little bit overwhelming. You just can't get a lot of information off it. It's just too crowded, because this kind of gives you the view of 24 hours, 7 days. You can see what's happening. So things that we need to keep in mind, because we're going to be scheduling things into this. So, we're going to be doing highlighting and that sort of thing. So you should have hopefully been able to open this. You don't have Excel. I'm not sure how it's going to open. Maybe it'll open convert it into a different software, or you can, if you're able to, print this off, you can do that too. But we're in class, we usually do this manually, and we print it off and hand it out for everyone. But here we're going to do it virtually. So things you need to keep in mind is maintenance and cleaning, and what if you need any extra time for that. Staff needed for each, cost per hour, cost to participate, cost of instructors, maintenance staff. So those are things to keep in mind when you are scheduling. But what we're going to do right here is we have to decide our opening and closing times of our facility. So I'm going to say that our facility, I'm going to just block it. So Monday to Friday, let's say we're going to open at 6 a.m. So this time here, I'm just going to go up here for a little bucket. If you go to home and find your little bucket there, you can shade it. So like this, that sort of thing. So I'm going to say, I'm going to gray it out. That's going to be a time we're not going to be able to use. Okay. So, and then I'm going to go down to the bottom. I'm going to say, well, we're going to close at 11 p.m. So Monday to Friday, I'm going to go here, I'm going to highlight that area, and then I'm going to just put my bucket and I'm going to shade it in. Okay, so I'm sure it is showing. I'm going to make it a bit smaller so I can show you the full area here, or more of the area. And then on the weekends, I'm going to say Saturday and Sunday, we're going to open it. Let's see, we're going to open at 8 a.m. Okay, so I'm going to shade this in. All right. And on the weekends, we're going to close a bit earlier. We're going to close at 6. So I'm going to shade those areas in. So first thing we've done is sort of set the parameters of our hours that we're open during the week. our full week. So I don't know if anyone, so I just sort of click and drag to highlight those boxes, and then you can, pick your color that you want to put in there. All right. So I'm hoping everyone's able to follow along.
Mike?
Yes, Marina?
I can't see your screen share. I can only see scheduling procedures.
Oh, okay. Let me see if maybe I shared the wrong screen. Hold on a second. Does that help?
It's the same for me, but I don't know if it's just me.
I can see on my screen.
I can see it.
Okay.
It's just me then.
Marina, if you open up the file, you can still listen to what I'm doing and try and follow along. I'll post up, what I'll do is I'll save this, what I do, and I will post it on Blackboard, okay? So I'll put both files up. I'll put the current one that's on Blackboard, then I'll put the one when I finish filling all this in, I'll post this as well, okay? So you'll see the finished product, but you won't be able to watch me if you can't see it on your computer, okay? So we'll save it afterwards. All right. Okay. So let's go on. So we have our 7 days sort of set up here of our opening and closing time. So now we're going to say in our jam, let's say the first thing we're going to do is we have a varsity doubleheader on a Wednesday night. So we know that, okay, Wednesday night, and we're going to go, okay, from 6 until 8. We have a women's volleyball game. We're going to just go, we're going to give that one a light blue. I'm going to use this blue color. And we can write in here. So we're going to say, just click on it, go women's. We're going to go WVB, okay, women's volleyball. And then we're going to go from 8 to 10. We're going to shade that in. We'll use a different color. We'll use, I don't know, green. And we're going to do men's volleyball, okay? But we know the games, and actually maybe I'll just double click on there. I'll go from, 6 to 8 in case we don't know. And then here, we're going to just double click on that, and we're going to go from 8 to 10. So we know that our games take place, or women's volleyball, men's volleyball. We need time for warm up. So the 5 to 6 o'clock time before the women's, we're going to keep going with the blue here, but we're going to say, click on that and go warm up is 5 to 6. We also need an hour before that. We're going to click on that. We're going to go, this is going to be set up. I don't know, set up is from 4 to 5. Oops, 4 to 5, sorry. All right, so we know that we have set up, warm up, women's volleyball, and we're not going to give the schedule in the warm up time for the men's volleyball because let's see the women's volleyball. We know a volleyball game can go 5 sets, or a volleyball game can go 5 sets. If it's best out of 5, it can go 3 straight. It can go 5. Usually, whatever time the women's game ends, you schedule it for the 6 to 8. It could end at 7:30. So the men get that warm up time in between the games, and so we just predicting it goes from 8 to 10, just as a schedule time. But then at the end, we're also going to need, put another blue in there. Actually, I might change the colors. So blue, and I'm going to go, this is going to be clean up. Clean up and take down. I'm going to just change the size of that font because it's too big. I'm going to go to 8. And that's going to be from 10 to 11. I probably have to not my cells and not what I'm looking for. Okay, we'll just keep it like that. We know that it goes over to the next block, but we know that's let's make this one here green because we'll just make the games are green and maybe the cleanup, setup, warm up are the blue. Okay, so we see that we have our varsity games in there. So we have the women's and men's volleyball. So we know that you need the equipment there. But now let's go. Also, the basketball have a double header on the weekend. So Saturday, we're going to go from 10 to 12 to 2. We're going to have a women's basketball. We'll change the color on that in a second, or actually right now. Let's go to, we're going to call that one green as well. And then we're going to go from 2 until 4. That's going to be men's basketball. Men's basketball. It's going to be 2 to 4. And then here it's going to be from 12 to 2. And what else do we need? We know that we have to have our setup right here from 10 to 11. And then we know we have to have our warm up here from 11 to 12. And then here we're going to have our cleanup, and we'll colorize this in a few seconds. Clean up from 4 to 5. All right, so we'll just change the colors on that so we know what's going on. We're going to make blue our cleanup times, I guess. Okay, there's that. Okay, so now what we have is our 2 volleyball, basketball games in. All right, so let's say every day from noon to 1, Monday to Friday, we're going to have it's going to be a group fitness class, because in our campus, we know that Zumba is very popular, and it's going to be, we get close to 60 to 70 people come out, and we are going to put Zumba all the way across here. Monday to Friday. Oops, spelled that wrong. Zumba, go to 1. Okay, so we have that in there. What else do we have in there? We also know that, okay, from 5 to 6, oh, can't do anything there. We're going to have on this Monday to Friday from 5 to 6, we also have a, what are we going to have? What's another popular? We're going to have a yoga class here from 5 to 6. Again, yoga is very popular at our institute. This is but we can't have. We're going to have to skip Wednesday, unfortunately, because damn volleyball's in the way. So we're going to have to skip that day. Maybe we'll put them in a multi-purpose room this day, but yoga. We're going to colorize that too to this rusty red or brown color, whatever it is. Orange, sorry. Okay, now we know that, all right, but let's go to Monday. Hopefully everyone's keeping up to me here. 6 to 7, Monday to Friday, we are going to put in, right here, 6 a.m., we're going to put in cleaning. Okay, that's going to be 6 to 7. I'm going to just go like this. I'm going to go copy. I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go paste. Let's make our cleaning. What color should we use for cleaning? Let's use yellow. All right. And what we also, oh, there's someone in the weight room. Okay, so we have cleaning there. So cleaning in the gym is mostly just a dry mop of the floor. Okay. We're also going to do one mid-afternoon here, Monday to Friday from 2 to 3. What else put cleaning in here? So we're going to get the cleaning 2 to 3. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go like that, and I'm going to go copy, and I'm going to go paste. All right, and I'm going to make it yellow. All right. Now, if you haven't used Excel a lot, I might hopefully I'm not going too fast for you, but you can see that how this is populating pretty quickly. So we have 2 cleaning times, but also what we're going to do on a Sunday morning from 8 till 10. We're going to put another cleaning in here, because this is where we're going to do a wet mop. We're going to call it wet mop, but it might be a wet machine, Zamboni type of thing. And I will put that down from 8 till 10. It's going to take 2 hours, okay? I'll just change this color to yellow. We know we have some different cleaning times in there, right? Actually, let's put the setup times as yellow as well. We're colorizing this. So we know that sort of this is where we need our staff in, and the takedown. This is going to be yellow too. So we know that. So if we're looking at our codes of our colors, we know that yellow is sort of when maintenance staff are coming in to clean up or set up or take down. We know that this orangey rusty color is our group fitness. And maybe because let's make all varsity, whatever it is, warm up or whatever, we'll make that green as well. That's green. Okay, so we're learning as we go here. So we have our warm up. So it's varsity's green. So now let's get into some campus. Well, let's do more varsity. Okay, so we know that the men's varsity indoor soccer team practices from 6 to 8. We're going to put in here men's soccer. We just put MS. It'll be 6 to 8. And then 8 to 10 is going to be women's soccer. I'll write this out for people who may not know what this is if they go on it later. And I'll go 8 to 10. Actually, we're going to go to 11. They're going to get an extra hour because they're later. So we're going to make all this green for varsity. All right, and then we know that, okay, the, let's go here. The men's volleyball want to practice before the game. Men's V-ball. So we'll make it women's V-ball here. Women's V-ball. And that'll be 6 to 8. And then we're going to go men's V-ball is going to be from 8 to 11. Okay, so we have varsity practices in there. Okay, on the Friday night, we're going to do it's going to be women's basketball. We know this is a practice. I guess I maybe put this in over here, the practice. Okay, this is all practice as well. Right, and this is a practice. And then over here is a practice. And then this is going to be a practice. We're going to go from 6 to 8. And then the men's b-ball, because they want practice before their games. 8 to 11 on a Friday. Ooh, yuck. Okay. Actually, because they're practice, let's maybe make varsity practice is going to be go light green because we know it's varsity, but it's not quite a game. We're going to change that to light green, just so we know that this is practice, but it's still varsity. Okay, we haven't got into any sort of campus rec. So campus rec is really not looking good here so far. So let's do our 3 to 4 o'clock, 3 to 5 each day is going to be campus rec. So we go campus rec, 3 to 5. And we're going to do that each day, copy. But we know that there's going to be a problem on the Wednesday. They're only going to get it for an hour. So this is going to be 3 to 4 here. Campus rec, what color do you want campus rec to be? We don't know. We're going to have it as a light blue, whatever color this is. Okay, campus rec is right in here. All right, now we see that it's getting a little busier. We're going to do academics Monday to Friday from 7 until noon. Monday to Friday is academics. And we're going to call that one, we're going to put it in as red, academics. It's going to be from 7 until noon. So it could be firefighting, it could be police testing, it could be something like that, we're not sure. But now we have any rentals, we're going to make we have a night here. This is going to be our campus rec night right here. Campus rec is going to have an evening. Actually, let's go campus rec from 6 until 11. You're gonna get one night here. So it's gonna be blue. That whatever color that was. What color was that? I think it was over here. That one. All right. Then we have Sunday. We haven't had anything on Sunday yet, but Sunday afternoon from 12 until 6, we have our local soccer club coming in. So it's gonna be a rental group. So we have a rental soccer club. All right. And we're going to put that from noon to 6. And we'll colorize that one as well to make it, color here would be whatever color that is. Okay. So we have some other time open. Now we have our open time. It's going to be open. We're going to leave it white. So drop in whatever you want to do in there. It'll be basketball, badminton. We're gonna have some open time here too. Open, and then open here. Or maybe you close it. Let's close early on Saturday. We're gonna go, okay, that's gonna be just an earlier close on Saturday. Our staff get out. You can see that over the course of the week, it can get booked up pretty quickly. And depending on what happens and when it happens, we're going to just save that. So we can put that on Blackboard in a few minutes. Desktop, we'll just save it on desktop as scheduling. Example. Okay. We'll put that on Blackboard for you. Okay, so I'll stop sharing that. Everyone got the idea there. And you may get other things that come in that, whoops, what happened there? Happened. We know that things may change if you have a varsity game that goes later. Maybe it's a 4 till 6 and a 6 to 8 on a Saturday. Maybe your rentals. It's a different time. They want the full day on Sunday or something like that. It could be campus rec is looking for a different time, or academics needs a different time, or you're cleaning, or you have some maintenance. Maybe you have to block book a full day on a Friday for changing light bulbs in the gym, something like that. Okay, so everyone, I'm sure, gets the idea here. And this is for assignment 5. You are asked to do I think it's weekly and monthly schedules. So this is when you're asking how to do scheduling. You can use this template I've put up. You can use this example. You can watch a video if you're having issues with it. But there's an example of that. Okay. Okay, so let's go to chapter. Well, if there's any questions, please put them in the chat. Okay, teaching. Where are we here? PowerPoint teaching. Chapter 14 for maintenance. And I will share the screen for maintenance. Okay, we're 1 minute to 10 o'clock, but that's okay. We'll go through our maintenance slides, and I'll just touch on the most important ones that you need to talk about. I may not hit them all here, but these are posted on Blackboard for you to review at your leisure. So maintenance is an important function, critical, contribute to the facility use. We know that when we go to facilities that aren't maintained well, then we know that we do not enjoy the experience there. Okay, so keeps it safe, functional condition. So maintenance terms that you may hear or may have in the definitions, simple things: changeover, setup, tear down, downtime, and so on. Okay. Importance of maintenance. Okay, poor maintenance practices can have a negative effect on user satisfaction and product delivery. And maintenance as an indirect function. So most instances, maintenance is indirect function because maintenance workers seldom come in contact with users. So people don't usually have that contact with the maintenance users. It may say, if this washroom needs to be cleaned, call this number or text this number. But you might see somebody with their maintenance cart, or that's a cleaning cart, but it also may see a maintenance person. I think if you're more conscious of it, you notice the people in the facility, like they'll see that they have their, maybe they're with their work boots on or that sort of thing. So we'll see them around. They do work in the facility. If you're in an ice arena, you know that they're the ice maintenance, cleaning the ice, or the people that ride the Zamboni. But usually people, if you're at an arena, you're either in the change rooms or gone out to get a coffee at the concession while the ice is being cleaned. So you don't even, you don't sit there usually watching them if you don't have to. So maintenance leadership, it's, the manager provides the leadership to make sure that the tasks are done properly, on time, and scheduled in. So try not to sacrifice, if you will have pressures put on you if there's revenue that you need to make. And okay, well, so on Sunday morning we had from 8 till 10 a wet clean of the floor. Let's say if you're getting pressure from a budget that you may have to make more revenue, maybe you don't put the wet mop in, and so you avoid doing that. So some things get sacrificed. Try to not to sacrifice your maintenance, your cleaning of your facility. Okay. Facility image. Make sure that the impression of a facility may include the sense of comfort and belonging, or sense of uncertainty or discomfort, good and bad. Recreation facilities that are not clean, are unsanitary, have broken equipment, or have other poor maintenance practices can drive users away. And we know, or I know now that facilities are even more conscious of this. I know if you go to a rec or a private health club right now, some of them are handing you, a spray bottle when you walk in, and that you carry it around with you to all the equipment. Wearing a mask between the equipment and taking it off when you use the equipment. Safety is an important result of good maintenance. So maintenance staff should conduct regular checks on smoke alarms. I'm just going to show you something that's, I'm going to show you how the Georgian maintenance system works. Because, all right, I'm going to just open it up here. I'm going to stop sharing that. So I'm going to share a different screen. So any employee at Georgian has access to the work order system. So welcome to the facility management work order system. This is Georgian College. If you look up here, it's called myschoolbuilding.com. And you can see that preloads it with my name, Mike Zucchino, my email, phone number, my extension. So I can select a location. So if I'm teaching, I don't even know what our class is going to be, but let's say it was the Barrie campus. You can pick any of the Georgian campuses here. So I can say, okay, I need a work order done in Barrie, and then I select the building. We know that in Barrie we have, they have them labeled differently. That B building, or the business building, founders building, student services center. A lot of our classes usually are in H or K. Let's say we're in K, which is attached to the library. We're going to hit K, and we're going to select an area in K. So I'm going to say classroom. So you could pick, this just sort of populates, could be a washroom, stairway, storage, but since we use a classroom, we're going to go to classroom, and we're going to go that, we know that K is like K323, okay? And then what we can do is go down. They have all these lists of different areas you can put in. So, is it an ADA accommodation, air conditioning? Is it too hot in there? So what happens is when you pick one of these choices, it will be directed towards the staff that would look after these repairs. So if it was sort of a cleaning issue, carpet cleaning, or what's another one, a custodial, it will go to the cleaning staff. If it's electronics, electrical, it's I think lighting is on here. Lighting, we go to an electrical person. If it's a general repair like a desk repair or a general maintenance, it would go to another general staff. If it's, they have locks on here. It's all alphabetical too. So keys and locks, it will go to the locksmith. So it all sort of happens where it goes to that person. So we're going to pick indoor lighting here. Okay, so he picks that, and then it just sort of, it says okay. So here, and I can describe the problem. It could be like light is flickering and driving me crazy. All right. Then you can put time available. I usually put any, because come in anytime and fix it. And the completion date, say that, oh, the 2nd of December right now. We have our class every Wednesday. So I'm going to say by the 8th, I need this thing fixed before the next class. And then I would click, I'm not going to click submit because we're just sort of making this up. This is how the work orders work. Now, I can also go over to, I'll show you my requests because I've put a bunch of requests in different times. So this is my, how many requests I have? I've been put in 279 requests over my time that this program's been running. So most recently, they're in sort of chronological order, but the most recent ones at the top. And we can see that, you know, on October 19th, I put in a work order to say that, hi, could you please empty the garbage in the GCSA office? They were just, because of the shutdown of the campuses, they weren't going in, and I had been in the office a few times and they're kind of getting overflowed. So that was one of the ones I put in. Here, the electrician, hey Greg, I need to get all of our cable boxes taken out and returned to Rogers. So to save some money, we discontinued all our cable contracts on our campuses. So returned all our cable boxes. So we're not, you as students, paying for the cable. Another way to save money there. You know, it might be too late, but could you please water the 2 plants in my office area? So this was in May 15th. So, and here you can see that the action taken column, the red is what the worker has put into the their comments. So you can see that this one here about the garbages was directed to custodial. This was electronics. These are the what I actually put in as the maintenance areas. General maintenance for the watering the plants. Doors and hardware. There's a door that kept slamming shut, so they fixed that. So it was doors and hardware. Another one, weather stripping on the door. So you can see that, you know, watered the 2 trees in the GCSA offices, discovered them a month ago, and they have been watered every week while conducting my campus inspection. So Jason's been doing that. Okay, so you can see that's sort of how the different work orders work at Georgian. It's that easy, and it'll work for other people as well in other facilities. Very similar. So I'll stop sharing that. I'll go back to this share. And as we move down to maintenance categories, and this is part of the stuff that you'll want to review if you don't catch it the first time. Maintenance categories will be asked during the test. There'll be at least 1 or 2 little questions on this, or a few questions. So make sure you're familiar with, you know, building maintenance, ground maintenance, equipment maintenance. Okay, there's different types of maintenance. Okay, and the building maintenance, you know, understand that involves the indoor facilities, structures, rooms, corridors, and so on. Also, the outdoor facility, sorry, what did it have here? Grounds, okay, so the grounds. Sweeping, mopping, picking up trash, window washing, watering plants, and, you know, general cleaning, changing light bulbs, repairing doors, windows, etc. All your general maintenance that happens, okay? You can just imagine that it's everything from, you know, changing filters in the HVAC system to mopping the floors, okay? And then the grounds maintenance is also often the first thing you see when people come in. So if it's a building you have, then it's it's the garbage been picked up, is the grass been cut, the garden's been weeded, things like that. Also, if you have a outdoor facility that is a sports field, you know, again, has the grass been cut for those? Are there garbage receptacles? and so on, those sort of things. So ground maintenance, some examples here of ground maintenance, shrub trimming, grooming of infield surfaces. So if you have baseball diamonds with a clay or a gravel infield, they have tractors that will groom them. They'll drag some screen behind it to maintain the fields, or if there's, done by a person with a rake, that's also a way of doing the ground maintenance there. And then there's equipment maintenance. So you have your facility, building maintenance, your ground maintenance, and your equipment maintenance. So we know that equipment is all the equipment that you use, and all of that equipment needs to be maintained on a regular basis, okay? And there's all sorts of equipment maintenance that we're going to go into here. So repairing machines, replacing parts, clean it. One example is rotating and replacing tires, sharpening tools, servicing HVAC equipment. These are some good examples of maintenance equipment. Then there's maintenance types. So kind of like when we did the equipment classification, we have maintenance that can be classified, okay? So we have routine and non-routine. So there are two general types of maintenance, routine and non-routine. These two categories help to explain how tasks in each category can be described and organized. Okay, so routine, non-routine, but we're going to break those down just a bit further. Routine, non-routine maintenance, then they have, can be broken down into projects and unforeseen maintenance. Then there's preventative maintenance and cyclical maintenance. Okay, get down further into that. So your routine maintenance is ongoing maintenance that represents efforts by management to keep facilities and equipment in proper condition from day to day or even hour to hour. Okay, there's a dependence on daily routine maintenance tasks to keep the production environment and equipment in a proper functioning state. In many circumstances, non-routine activities require maintenance attention, including projects and unforeseen preventative and cyclical maintenance. Non-routine maintenance usually requires extra attention, especially if it relates to the coordination and scheduling of work. Okay, and then projects. So facility and equipment require work resulting from damage, breakdown, or failure. Could be a project. This work is often called a project, may require planning and design. So let's say it's, you want to renovate or retrofit an area, you have to plan for it, you close it down, or you hire your contractors and you put that into place and you make that happen. So that would be a project. And then there's unforeseen maintenance. Often non-routine maintenance tasks fall under the category of unforeseen maintenance. Frequently, they are a direct result of wear and tear due to facility equipment usage. Okay, so things that you can't, that just happen randomly in the environment. Okay, so that could be unforeseen. Then there's preventative maintenance. It's applied in anticipation of what needs to be done to protect areas and equipment from wearing down, failing to operate, or breaking down. Okay. And when managed properly, preventative maintenance can decrease or even prevent area and equipment problems from possible hazards. So preventative maintenance would help to extend the life of your different equipment. Okay, cyclical maintenance can be defined as non-routine application that is initiated as needed and performed with a complete set of tasks designed to restore an area or piece of equipment to its desired state. Although cyclical maintenance is performed on a schedule, it occurs infrequently as not considered routine maintenance. So it could be changing your tires from winter to summer or summer to winter. Okay, cyclical maintenance systems. So I talked to you about the work orders already. I showed you through the Georgian work order process, maintenance system. So you do have to have this is accessible by any staff. So you don't have to go, oh, Mike, can you put a work order in for me? It's like anyone can put a work order in at Georgian if they work there. Okay. Systems consist of planning. It's just a Inventory assessment, task identification is the planning, the work orders, control center, job form, and number, which we talked about. I showed you the Georgian one. And work assignments, units, specialized crew, outside contractors. So we know that, you may not have an arborist on site, so you have to hire in a arborist to cut or trim your trees. You possibly don't have a locksmith on site, so it could be an outside contractor that comes in to do that sort of work. So that's important to know. Yeah, but you do have units and departments, which I mentioned. When the work orders go out, you could have your janitorial, you could have your electrical, you could have your mechanical, you could have your general maintenance, you could have your grounds crew, all different maintenance units and departments. And here we are, this sort of specialized. So I guess let me just go back to this one. So here, actually the maintenance units and departments are saying usually it's the facility, grounds, and equipment are their different maintenance units and departments. And then when you get into crews, we look at the different specialized areas as a tree surgeon or the mechanics, carpenters, locksmith, plumbing, and electricians. So those are some examples of the specialized crews that would be present. Then outside contractors, and it would work similar to purchasing equipment. When we talked about purchasing equipment, you could be putting out a request for service. It may not be a request for a product, but maybe be a quote for service, a request for service. And this could be done through a formal arrangement. It could be your, one of the ones that happens every year is your snow maintenance is a popular one that you might talk about as an outside contractor, that you have a maintenance contract with your snow removal company, and it could be a flat fee for the year. I'm going to pay, I know, $200 a month or $500 a month, or I'm going to pay per plow. So it's, depending on the amount of snow you're going to get for the winter, no one really knows. You can read the Farmer's Almanac and get an idea, or listen to some meteorologists that are telling you, it's going to be a lot of snow this winter, and say, this winter I'm going to go buy a flat fee. But if it's supposed to be a light winter, maybe I am going to go buy the per plow. Okay, how many plows they're going to be doing per month, per year, and pay that way. So outside contractors is snow removal is one of a good example there. And then other maintenance considerations. So supervising maintenance activities, keeping maintenance records. So all your equipment should have something kept, a log of all the maintenance records. So you know that treadmill number 3 has had repairs done it 3 times this year, where treadmills number 1, 2, and 4, all we did is do our preventative maintenance on it, and we only inspected it and it was fine. So we know that 3 maybe is a problem, you should get rid of it, replace it more quickly, okay? Or maybe you need to watch it for other breakdowns, okay, and be conscious of that. Establish maintenance manuals. So your manual should include all the manuals of your equipment. So if it is your treadmills or your ice cleaning machine, or if it's your communication radios that you use to communicate between your staff, or if it's your HVAC system, you should have manuals on all this equipment and kept in one spot in a maintenance office. So housing, maintenance shops, and storage facilities. So for repairing things on site, if it's maybe it's your lawn equipment, or you have a tractor that you change the oil on, or trucks that you bring in and change the tires on. You could have a shop or storage facility for these pieces of equipment. And inspecting maintenance work needs to be done. Make sure that it's done correctly, and maintaining efficiency systems. And we know through our equipment classifications, our efficiency systems include your HVAC, your plumbing, your electrical, and so on. Okay. And then here in the last slide, I have some examples of each one of the areas that we had just talked about. So if you're wondering about different, it's just sort of a one slide that gives you examples of everything, okay? Okay, I know I zipped through that, and I'm hoping I didn't lull any of you to sleep, and you have been able to listen. I know that the due date for in-class assignment 9 Kita, there is no due date for 9. You don't have to hand that in, okay? So don't hand in ICA number 9. I will put a message on Blackboard to say this is for your own use, and that I was hoping during class time that you could follow along and understand that the scheduling that we did today in class is very similar to what you'll need to do in assignment 5. So it's giving you an example of working through a weekly schedule of a facility. Some of you will be using pools, some will be using multi-purpose rooms, some will be using sports fields, gymnasiums, whatever type of facility you had. So in assignment 5, use the example, or you can use the sheet that I have created, and you can learn from the example that I had. So colorizing them and labeling them is very easy, or it can be easy if you know how to use Excel. You can do it by hand as well if you want to print one of those off and fill it in by hand, but I think it's a lot easier just to put it up on your computer and do it that way. So that was, we're almost 2 hours in, and we have done chapter 13 and 14, and I've given you some information on what's happening next week. Does anyone have any questions about the information or content I covered today, or any questions about assignment number 5, or any other questions about life in general? Anyways, what I'm going to do now is I will stop recording and I'll stay on the line until everyone's gone. Thanks, Christian, for the thumbs up. Brittany, hope you're doing well. Hope your family's, everyone's happy there. Sujata, that's good. Get some thumbs up there. So I'm going to stop the recording and I will stay on the line. Ignatia, good to see you're awake and listening to me. That's good. Thanks. Okay, so I'm going to stop the call, like I said, and I'll stay on until everyone leaves. Okay, so have a great day. Enjoy the sunshine and shoveling if you still have to shovel your driveways. Okay, bye-bye.